Hello everybody, and yes, you are looking at my face today. Now there's a story behind this review, and let me tell you a bit more about it. So we do get a lot of emails from car companies, and we get a lot of emails because car companies now are putting a lot more technology into their cars. A lot of cars have lane sensors to stop you drifting out of a lane. They have sensors to even check that you're not getting distracted whilst you're driving. They have sensors to check how fast you're going. They know what the speed limit is for the certain road that you're on. They have cruise control. They have automatic windscreen wipers. They have automatic lights. There's loads of tech. Now, Citroen emailed us about their new Dashcam. It's called the ConnectedCam. Now, like a lot of Dashcams that you can put into your car, aftermarket Dashcams that you can purchase from eBay and supermarkets, petrol stations and the like, it will record your journey in full HD. This particular one that we're going to have a look at is also able to store the GPS location and the speed that you were doing onto the footage and onto those photographs, which is great. This one though is slightly different. It comes built into the car. It's got a button on the bottom that you press, and it also beams out a Wi-Fi hotspot. And the reason it does that is simple, because when you buy a dash cam from a supermarket, etc., they're relatively cheap, and they've got an LCD panel on the back with which you can watch the footage afterwards. Great. But if you want to watch that footage on your TV or on your laptop, you've got to have a cable, you've got to faff about, take the camera out of the car, you've got to get the micro SD card out perhaps. You've really got to mess around to get that footage off there, and then you've got to find it. It's a bit of a pain. So here, the ConnectedCam beams out a Wi-Fi hotspot that you then connect to on your phone, and then you can look at the footage using the ConnectedCam application from Citroen. Great. And they said, do you want to review it? So naturally I said yes. And then they said, when do you want to pick the car up? Yeah. So here on Coolsmartphone is a review of a car. Right, so welcome on board. This is the Citroen C3 Flare. This is the PureTech 110 manual model. And we've got the 5-speed gearbox, and it's a 3-cylinder transverse engine producing 110 brake horsepower. It's got a 3-year 60,000 mile warranty on it, and there's a lot of extra kit on here. Blind spot monitoring, which is an extra £100, the glass roof, the 17-inch alloys, and the keyless entry and start. Now I'm going to show you some of that gadgetry right now. So I've got my key here, and as long as it's in your pocket or near to the vehicle, you can push down the clutch and press start. So the car's going to hopefully start up now. Now if I put it in reverse, you'll see there's a reversing camera, and it will tell me when I'm about to hit something. So if I go backwards, I mean, I like the old school way of doing it, but it will beep if there's something solid. In this case it's a wire mesh fence, so I'm not going to crash into it. It doesn't always detect everything, so I'd advise maybe looking behind you when you're actually reversing, as you should do really. We've got a range of things that you can do with this panel here. So obviously you've got the climate control, can make it a little bit warmer here, can do the usual things you'd want to do with a climate control. You can have it on auto, and you can have the fans take care of themselves. We've got a Sat-Nav system here, which is very easy to use. You punch in where you want to go, and it will take you there. For some reason it is charging at the minute, but here you go. You can see where I am now. You just press menu, you just enter the address of where you want to go, and it comes up, say BIRMINGHAM for Birmingham, and up you go. So you know, you can obviously put in the street where you want to go. You've got the audio controls here. You've got DAB digital radio. You can have FM. You've also got a USB port down there, should you want to put anything else in. You've got 3.5mm audio input too. There's a 12-volt charger down here as well, just off the bottom of that screen that you can see, for charging up your devices as you go. We have here the connectivity with your phone, which is Bluetooth. Obviously you've got the ConnectedCam, which I'll detail in a separate part of the video, and we've got the other connectivity options. We've got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink on here. And also here we've got a range of functions and all the gadgets that are built into this car. It keeps you safe, basically. On the dashboard here, it will tell you the speed limit for the area, the road that you're on. So it has a look at the speed signs, and it will know that you're in a 30 zone. It will also check that with the map, which is over here, and it knows what the speed limit is for this particular road. It will tell you what the speed limit is, and you can use the cruise control here and press the mem button to hit that exact speed limit, so you know you're not going to go too fast if you're using the cruise control. We've got this lane departure warning, which is down here. You press the button to start that off. The blind spot monitoring is great. Two little orange dots will appear on each mirror when a car is overtaking you, so that you don't maybe pull out in front of someone, which is great. Let's have a look at the other gadgets that are available on here. So we've got the blind spot sensors. So if you're in a car park, you're parking the car, you've got it in reverse, it will also tell you if there's somebody slightly offside, somebody walking behind the car. There's a start-stop system here. We've got a hill control. You can basically start on a hill with the assistance from the car. We've got traction control. This is a Super Mini, and you get quite a high ride height, so you can see over the top of vehicles, but it does mean that when you're bouncing over speed humps, it's very good at doing that, but it's a little higher than my normal vehicle, so it does tend to lean a little bit sometimes. So leave the traction control on. You got under inflation notification for your tires, and what else have we got in here? Yes, you can set the comfort on here, so you can have the rear wiper, adjust that. You can also have a look at your headlights. You've got this follow, guide me home lighting, welcome lighting. So there's a range of other options, and here's the safety, which is a recommended speed display which appears. There's also a driver attention warning that appears on that uses the mirror, I believe. Now I'm going to drive a little way for you here, and we'll just show you how the car operates normally. I'm going to go to Morrison's. It's 3-cylinder. It is quite it sounds quite grunty, I must admit. It's when you give it the beans. Now I'm in a 30 zone, so I want to slow down. I'll set the average. I'll set the cruise control to 30 miles an hour there. I'm in third gear, I believe. It will tell you, it will advise you maybe if you should change up a gear as well, so that will flash up on the dashboard as you drive. So I'm now doing 30 miles an hour exactly. That is the speed limit. We have the lane departure warning, which won't work at this speed, but if you are indicating and you're on a motorway and you cross over a lane, it won't go off. But if you don't indicate and you're drifting across a line, it will tell you off immediately. If I tap the brake now, it will disengage the cruise control, of course. And we can adjust the brightness, by the way, of this dashboard if it maybe looks a bit bright for you. We've got a range of buttons on here for adjusting the stereo. As I mentioned before, we've got DAB radio on here. You can change sources to FM on here. You can adjust the volume. You can operate your phone, so you don't need to take your hands off the steering wheel when you're actually having a chat with somebody. So that is a look at the inside of this, the Citroen C3 Flare. Okay, so on a very wet, rainy day like today, as you can see here, it is really raining quite heavily. We've got a certain extra bonus in this particular Citroen C3, and this is the roof. You can see here we've got a little handle, push this back and it goes all the way back, pretty much halfway to the back of the vehicle, and you can see the whole open glass roof panels. Quite nice, that is. We also have quite a lot of room in the back there for additional passengers. It's a good five-door car. Plenty of luggage space as well for your shopping. Right, so the key thing about this, the Citroen C3, is that it has something called ConnectedCam. Now here is the camera. You can see it there. And there's a button, you can see there's a green light, hopefully you can see the green light. And there's a button there which you can press to take photos. And it beeps when you do that. Now, most people that have cameras in their cars will have to take the SD card out in order to actually get that footage off. Now here on the Citroen solution we have a Wi-Fi hotspot that is beamed out by the car, and you can see here it says ConnectedCam, no internet access. We connect to that. Now, as I mentioned before, my Honor handset here is going to moan a little bit that there is no internet connection on this Wi-Fi, and do I want to stay connected? So once I've got around that, I go into this app which you download called ConnectedCam. So go into ConnectedCam, and you can see here, once it's updated and got the details from the car, you can see the photos that have been taken on the camera. And we can press that there, and we can see there's a photo that I've taken, and here's that little problem there. See, do you want to switch to other networks? Because this one doesn't have an internet connection, so say no on that one. So I can see the photo I've taken there, and I can see that it's raining, and I've just taken that photo. It's very good. Also, you can access your video footage on here. You can also see the location if you wish. Now, by the way, I should mention here, in the settings, you can manage your social media networks, because this isn't just for safety. You can actually share any image that's been taken on the camera on your social media. So you can take it on your camera, just press that button, and it can either automatically or manually share onto Twitter, Facebook or email. So I've got auto share on, so when I actually push that button on the camera and it beeps, it will go off to my Twitter account. And obviously my Twitter followers will think, why is he taking a picture of the rain? Bit strange, but you can email them to people. So perhaps if you've just arrived at a location and you're a salesperson, perhaps you can actually press that button and it will send an email to your boss just to prove you're actually in that location. So you've got notifications here. Basically the app will tell you if you've created a video or shared the camera image successfully. You can test the camera here, take a photo, and you can hear it's beeping. So you can actually remotely take a photo from the car, perhaps if you're a back seat passenger maybe, and you can see that is what I can see outside here. So that's great. What else have we got on here? Manage the video length. It's an auto looping recording. You can see here 20 seconds, which means 10 seconds before you actually push the button. Now let's say if we want 40 seconds, that means we've got 20 seconds. So if you had an accident, or you've seen something stupid that another driver has done, or dangerous perhaps, or you've seen something interesting on the road that you want to share, it will record the 20 seconds before you press the button, and then 20 seconds afterwards. Very easy to modify this all from the app, so no fiddling around with any settings on there at all. You can do it all from here. You can modify your Wi-Fi password. We've got a couple of notifications here on this, so I can see my share history. You can see this one was auto shared to Twitter at 3:24, and if I go into my Twitter account here, let's go into my Twitter account. You can see how it comes out on Twitter. I'll also put this in the review as well, but you can see if we go into my personal Twitter account and I go into the things I've shared, you can perhaps see back here which one was it now? There you go. No, that's a video of this car. But there you go. That is a tweet that I've sent out, and you can see here that's the image from the Citroen itself, and that's sent out to social media. It's good, that's good. So let's get back into the app, and I'll show you what else it can do. So ConnectedCam Citroen library. There we go. We can also go to Find My Car. So if you need to know exactly where you parked, you can see here where I've parked. And library shows me all the images I've taken, pictures. There's lots of those yesterday. And they also go into videos, and you can also go into events, so you can see any events that may have occurred. So let's go into my video footage, and I can maybe see this one here. Let's download this, and you can see this particular journey was between 10:58 AM and 11:30 AM, and you can see here the video chunks are arranged on the screen, chunked into small sections of video. You can see exactly where I was. I was in King Standing Road in Birmingham, B44 9SD. I can then download that to my phone. So I was there at 11:06 on September the 29th. So you can see exactly where you were. You can use that as evidence that you were in a certain place at a certain time. You can play it back directly from the car. You can see the quality here is very good. At the bottom there, it seems to have just frozen, but at the bottom there we've got the GPS location, how fast I was going, and the time. That's better now, it's nice and smooth. This is a really good quality video, I must admit. That is very, very nice. Considering it was a dark, overcast day, that is a very nice bit of footage there. This is 2 minutes long, but you can see if I'd maybe had an accident here coming back from Birmingham, I could watch it back here, share it with my insurance company, and so on. So great for showing evidence. I mean, nowadays, because there's cash for crash people out there that slam the brakes on in front of you, they work in pairs, and you may find that you're the victim of a cash for crash operation, or somebody just basically trying to get as much money out of your insurance company as they can. So this, as I drive through Perry Bar here, this is great evidence should you ever have an accident. Obviously we hope that you don't, but if you ever do have an accident, this is great. You can see exactly what speed you were doing, what the road conditions were like. You can download it from, if it slips out my hand, you can download it from the actual phone to your from the car to your phone, should I say. So it's downloading now from the car over the Wi-Fi down to my phone, and that will happen in the background. You can see exactly where I was. Again, if we press edit, let's try that. Will it do that while I'm multitasking? So, okay, so it's downloading that particular bit of video there. I can click edit. Can I? No, I can't click edit. But it's a great little app, very easy to use, and you know that you don't have to fiddle about with a micro SD card or a cable or anything like that and faff about with your computer and start putting in USB card readers and things. It just works straight out of the box. You connect to the car's Wi-Fi, and that is it. So that's an excellent idea. This is ConnectedCam from Citroen. Okay, so let's have a look in the boot, shall we, on this one. So this Citroen C3 opens up the top there. Quite a large capacity. The seats fold back as well. You can see, hopefully, the camera. There we go, there's a camera that does the reverse parking. So neatly. We've also got an SOS system should you have any problems while you're driving. And there's plenty of room in the back of this car for additional passengers.